Valorant by Riot Studios is the hot new live service game, free to play on the market now. Now, with all of these games comes the expectations of how is it going to handle the community? How is it going to handle updating? How is it, going to change and improve in the future? In this video, I wanted to kind of dive into what's making Valorant poised for in this video, I want to look at what's making Valorant positioned for success as opposed to failing and dying on the vine. There's a lot of things that this team is doing right, and I wanted to give some highlights to that in this video. We do stream almost every day on twitch.tv/NedleyTV, so go ahead and give that a follow, guys. We do play Valorant almost every day at this point. It's the only game that I've been feeling like playing here recently. Absolutely loving it, absolutely adoring it. More Valorant content to come. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell to see when we post a new video, and let's go ahead and dive in. So far, if we want to take a look at the update patterns with Riot so far with Valorant, it has actually been a fairly consistent and fairly quick paced turn of events, really. Competitive taking a little bit longer than the rest of the community wanted to see, and taking about a month or so to go online. After that, a video was released basically looking at their content plans for the upcoming future of the game, and it seems to be, in my opinion, a very aggressive style of balancing and adding in new content over and over again. The addition of Spike Rush upon launch was a super cool thing. I use it for warm-ups personally, just to fix the aim a little bit before we start getting into any unranked or competitive. The competitive update was huge. Balance changes for heroes have been fairly consistent and constant, and then adding Reyna right at launch was actually a huge boon. And according to the video that was released over on Twitter, it seems like they're going to keep this aggressive pattern, releasing up to 6 new heroes a year. With the idea of episodes and seasons, they seem to be taking a fairly aggressive approach for adding new maps, new game modes, and definitely new champions into Valorant itself. Having this influx of content and having new things for people to do and come back to all the time is a super way to keep this game's community vibrant, lively, and everybody coming back for more. You can see that currently in the Twitch numbers, where it really hasn't dipped below 75k, which is super high. It's surpassing Fortnite most days. It's surpassing almost everything on Twitch, honestly, unless like a new hot game is coming out or something crazy is popping off. With Riot controlling 2 of the 10 top spots in the Twitch directory, needless to say that anything that this team is going to be putting out anytime soon is probably also going to hit just as hard. For me personally, the quick pace of updates and the adding of new characters and new maps and new game modes is super important to me, as it keeps the game kind of fresh, keeps the meta ever shifting, keeps balancing ever on its toes, forcing the team to make sure that everything is working as intended, nothing stays broken for too terribly long. And it just gives a new fresh look to everything. Having new heroes completely changes the meta up, so having potentially up to 6 a year is absolutely crazy to think about, which is a much faster pace than even Overwatch has ever seemed to ever put out. Granted, this could lead to some hero bloat, so this may be dialed back just a little bit, but having an influx of new people is just definitely, it's going the League of Legends route, right? Where you can't have too many seemingly. League of Legends is well surpassed 100, if I'm remembering correctly. And nobody seems to be worried about that. It is a balancing nightmare, but it seems that Riot does have the affinity to be able to get this done. So obviously we're going to see in the coming updates as new heroes are introduced and see who's incredibly broken or incredibly underpowered. And we can reassess here at a later date, obviously, but for me personally, this is a super exciting thing that they're trying to attempt to do, and is definitely going to keep this game fresh for a very, very long time. The next thing I really wanted to focus on is the ban culture that they're not culture is not the right word, but their ban implementations that they're actually acting on. So what Riot has done is actually something that's honestly much lauded by me. I think that this is a great way of doing it. If you as a player provide feedback of somebody who is potentially cheating and Riot investigations prove that they were in fact cheating, such as aimbotting or anything like that, you actually get the feedback that that player was banned, and it names the person who is banned, as you can see here from my friend Exuberant Gaming's tweet, basically reporting this guy for suspected cheating, and then literally same day the Valorant team shot him a message in the menu saying, hey, this ban was banned. Thank you for your support. Thank you for keeping the game safe. This is a super cool thing, as it provides that positive reinforcement that your actions of potentially finding cheaters and toxic assholes, honestly, is super cool, because it gives the incentive that, like, hey, this team is actually listening to my feedback, and especially if they're acting on it because you know you're in the right, or you think you're in the right on this one, it allows for the incentivization of continuing to try to make Valorant a non-toxic and cheater-free community. So claps in chat for Riot on this one, dude. This is a huge thing, man. This is actually probably one of the coolest things I've seen the team do in a long time. In Overwatch, Blizzard used to give you feedback as that your report has, you know, led to some action. Thank you for submitting your feedback, but it was never really the same kind of hit as it is for, like, seeing the named person and the action that was taken against them. So please keep this going. Please keep this up. We don't like cheaters in our games. We don't like toxic assholes in our games. I try to fight that, but if Riot's also taking action on that, this is a super cool thing. It needs to keep going. We've discussed this in the first area too, but the consistent balance changing that they're doing and the tweaking of heroes in order to put everybody more or less in line has been super aggressive and super well welcomed, right? All these changes seem to be in a very good direction, making everything a bit more balanced and making everything feel better and more in line, so that way people aren't yelling. Raze, for example, as well, being able to change her grenades and ensuring that you have to kill 2 players before you get your grenade cooldown instead of 1. Things like that, giving her 1 as well, is actually a super good change as well. Everybody was complaining about Raze in beta, saying that she was overpowered and too strong, and all of her abilities were just insanely good, and just tuning her down so that way she doesn't feel very overpowered anymore, but her utility still feels right and good, and that you're still able to get value out of all of your stuff, is a very fine line to tread. And it seems like that Riot seems like they can do this deftly as well. So we need to keep seeing these balance changes coming. Nobody likes a stale meta. Nobody likes when people stay overpowered for far too long. Keep it going, Riot. You guys are literally killing it in this front as well. The last thing that I really wanted to talk about is the Ask Valorant series. This is basically videos that they've been uploading almost every week, taking questions from the community and basically answering them in video format. This, honestly, like, the direct feedback and communication with the community is something that's begged for by almost every game developer, period. They like, fans want this. Fans want people to be able to ask questions and then get them answered in a public forum, because other people may have the same questions as well. This needs to continue. This can't just fall away by the wayside. This Ask Valorant series is absolutely fantastic. It's such a line into the community that most people completely overlook. You want to listen to the players of your game to a point. Now, obviously, you know, you don't want the game developers to basically kowtow to the audience as well, because generally that makes for a terrible game. But being able to listen to feedback, answer questions, and basically have a direct relationship with your community is a super important thing as well, and truly needs to keep going. This is what's, for me, separating Valorant apart from most other games, right? Is their community first approach to everything in this game, from their videos to how they're handling balance to how they're handling, you know, certain feedbacks and things like that. So this needs to keep going as well, and hopefully we can see this for years to come. Guys, I know that I just spent 6 minutes fawning over Valorant. I am super into this game right now. It is the only thing that I'm feeling like playing, so definitely if you haven't already, give it a shot. If you want to come play games with me, you can add me. My name and hashtag are down below. We do stream almost every day on Twitch except for on Fridays. Most of it currently is Valorant, so if ever you want to just come hang out and chat, watch me be a potato and everything like that, twitch.tv/NedleyTV. Let's go, baby. Can't wait to see you. Don't forget the sub button in the top right corner. I love you guys. I will talk to you on the flip flop, and have fantastic games out there, dudes. Seriously, be safe. I love you.